UN 영어뉴스. Where will all the electric cars be charged? If electric cars are ever to become mainstream, then we are gonna need a lot more places to charge them. The key is to find space for chargers where people would actually use them. Curbside is the obvious spot, but their chargers are competing for space with pedestrians, wheelchair users, and others. One solution is to simply repurpose existing infrastructure without adding extra clutter to the built environment. For instance, lamp-post electric vehicle (EV) charging is expanding. A big advantage of repurposing existing lamp posts is that cities don't have to dig in order to lay new cables, says artist Marcos, the chief executive of the Latvian startup Simple Charge, which is focusing on Central and Eastern Europe. There are no complex permitting requirements, and a lamp post can be complemented with an EV charger within an hour. The cost is also considerably lower than a fixed charger, Mr. Marcos reports, at roughly €1,500 per charger. The Dutch company City Charge also offers lamp post charging, but with a different model that requires new cables to be installed. City Charge replaces conventional lighting poles with aluminum poles. It's relatively cheap to convert a lamp post into a charging spot. These have sleek black boxes for the payment terminal and the charger. Excluding installation, costs are in the €3,000 to €4,000 range per pole. Heyman Visual, City Charge's chief executive, acknowledges that this is a bit more expensive than other on-street chargers, but he believes that this is essentially a two-for-one product in which the pole's lighting and charging can be serviced together. Lamp post charging makes it possible to blanket towns and cities with lots of non-rapid chargers. The models of both City Charge and Simple Charge can go up to 22 kW, faster than slow overnight chargers, but not as cheap as rapid chargers. They can also operate 24/7. However, Mr. Marcos says that in places with older infrastructure, they are more likely to be for nighttime charging while the street lights are switched on. The Shell-owned company UB330 has been adding EV charging capacity not only to lamp posts but also to bollards that it designs. Each bollards and lamp posts offer charging at a typical rate of 5 kW. Some EV charging companies have been laboring over the design so that chargers are either unobtrusive or even visually appealing. This includes chargers that are embedded into the ground. For example, pop-up chargers that can sink back into the pavement when they are not being used. Trojan Energy's charging point is designed to be unobtrusive. Trojan Energy is a Scottish company whose chargers sit flush with the pavement, resembling miniature manhole covers from the outside. Most passers-by probably wouldn't even notice them. The company has consulted with disability organizations to ensure that the chargers aren't hazardous to those with mobility or sight impairments. For instance, Trojan Energy has been working with North London councils to cite hubs of 6 to 15 charge points, many along residential streets without driveways, where drivers are dependent on street parking. Rows and rows of terraced houses are perfectly suited to our solution, says Sarah Clement, Trojan Energy's head of business development. Customers need a dedicated attachment called a lens, and which weighs 2.7 kg to use a Trojan Energy charging point. Billing is done automatically through the lens, so the potential inconvenience of carrying around an extra device might be offset by the convenience of plug-and-play charging. Opening up the street, doing the civil and electrical work, and then restoring the pavement requires some time, of course. Installation takes about 2 weeks for each hub. Meanwhile, BT Group plans to convert old green street cabinets into charging points. The metal cabinets are traditionally used to store broadband and phone cabling, but many are coming towards the end of their lifespans. A pilot program is due to get underway soon in Scotland, and BT thinks eventually up to 60,000 cabinets could be converted. A different space-saving solution focuses on flexibility rather than fixed points on existing pavements. Mobile chargers are being trialed in places like airport car parks, where it would make little sense to leave a car plugged into a charger for multiple weeks while the driver is traveling. The UK company NeoVolt recently created Volt E, a compact, ultra-rapid charger that can provide up to 300 kW of DC power to charge a car within minutes. Sai Shivareddy, NeoVolt's CEO and co-founder, likens this mobile device to a suitcase in size, though it's heavier. One version of Volt E is mounted on wheels and semi-autonomous, so that it can lobe around to reach a vehicle that needs a quick hit of power. The full autonomy would be challenging to achieve. At the moment, Volt E still needs a human operator to plug the cable into the car. To get an arm that goes into the charge point location is a big challenge, Mr. Shivareddy says. Car maker Hyundai has developed an automatic charging robot whose robotic arm guides the charging cable into the port using an AI algorithm that works with a 3D camera. However, for now, the base of the robot is fixed in place while the arm moves around. Overall, the flexibility of a mobile charger would allow space to be saved, and drivers wouldn't have to fight for parking spots near a fixed charger. NeoVolt's Volt E brings a charge to you. Mr. Shivareddy says the mobile technology is also useful for rescue operations, so that a car wouldn't need to be towed just because it's run out of power, and depending on how they are rolled out. Mobile chargers could address some of the inequalities in where existing chargers are placed, largely along highways and in wealthy parts of the cities. NeoVolt says that Volt E's battery life exceeds 10,000 cycles. According to Mr. Shivareddy, Volt E works out cheaper than other chargers per kilowatt. A fully mobile charging could be useful for people with disabilities, says Liana Sipsigan, a professor of transport electrification and smart grids at Cardiff University's School of Engineering. Prof. Sip Segan says that mobile charging robots aren't necessarily commercially viable yet. Another concern with mobile chargers is safety. Moving these batteries could be a hazard, Prof. Sip Segan notes. In terms of fire risks, Mr. Shivaredi says that NeoBolt has carefully designed Bolt E to be ultra efficient and thus to generate very little waste heat. None of these solutions alone will be sufficient to meet growing demand. There aren't enough lamp posts and bollards. Mobile robotic charging may remain niche, and pavement embedded chargers won't be suitable in places where the pavements are often sparse or dilapidated, like Los Angeles. But together, these kinds of innovative, space-saving solutions will help push forward the EV transformation. As Prof. Sip Segan says, there is much space for innovation in the EV charging market, and younger and smaller companies could make an interesting impact on this very complex landscape.